Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, coming to you live to talk about Doctor Who once again. And this comes just on the coattails of the filming for Series 11, just having begun in the last week or so, couple of weeks maybe. We finally got the first glimpse of Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor's costume. And I can already hear, the abject horror of Whovians the world over. And I've not listened to anyone else's interpretations or reactions or anything like that. I did see one video with, worst costume ever in the title, question mark. And that was just sort of my cursory gauge to bear what this is probably, how divisive this is going to be amongst Whovians. Oh, great. Another reason to complain. But I actually don't have much to complain about. In all honesty, I kind of dig it. I was instantly reminded of, sort of a tomboyish Romana-esque look is what this costume embodied for me, upon first glance. And as I scrutinized it a little more, it kind of has a little bit of a rainbow motif, muted color rainbow motif on the inner lining of the jacket, across the shirt. And she's wearing yellow braces, and I gotta admit, it actually harkened back to me when I gave it a little thought. I'm like, this reminds me of something. Mork for Mork. Mork and Mindy, which is a show I grew up on as a kid. One of my first influences and introductions to Robin Williams, the great comedic legend and dramatic acting legend. And so it's immediately endeared to me because of those two sort of mitigating factors. It's got a little bit of Romana in it, the tomboyish Romana look. It's got a little bit of Mork and Mindy in it, and a little Mork for Mork. And I kind of dig it. She's also wearing like earrings and stuff like that. And I'm really intrigued to see what, how she's going to embody the Doctor, how she's going to be the Doctor. The Doctor has never necessarily been one through all of his incarnations for fashion sense. It's debatable whether this is stylish or not, but I think it'll be a lot of fun to cosplay for those who are inclined to do so. And I don't think it looks horrible. Some people probably do, but I mean, let's be honest. We've already encountered the worst costume the Doctor will ever have. It will never be topped. While that particular Doctor, that iteration of the Doctor, the sixth, Colin Baker, some people can take or leave him. I'm a fan of his. That costume, though, it's like Technicolor vomit. It's the worst costume in the history of Doctor Who. I don't care what you say. As far as costumes the Doctor has worn himself. And this is by far, leaps and bounds, that much better than that crap. I so wish we could go back and digitally edit in the all blue costume for the sixth Doctor, or an all black costume, something, something like that. But from right out of the gate, Jodie Whittaker's look, I dig it. I kind of dig it. It still does conform to the sort of bohemian wanderer aesthetic that, was embodied with Tom Baker's fourth Doctor. And the sort of not really paying too much attention to an affectation, trying to be impressible, or whatever, the word would be, to others, not really showing any care and concern for impressing people. It's just kind of a wacky-ish costume. It kind of reminds me of the second Doctor along those lines as well, the baggy coat and baggy pants and or trousers, and just sort of looking aloof, and it kind of embodies that a little bit too. And hopefully we'll get some aspects of her characterization, her acting, as far as the way she performs the Doctor along those lines. But I'm also hoping for an undercurrent of a more dramatic, maybe dialed back Doctor. So it'll be interesting to see, this sort of just cursorily, borderlining cartoonish, clownish costume, kind of. Although it kind of reminded me, looking at the gray long coat and the trousers, slacks, almost Civil War era, like repurposed, army fatigues or something like that. I don't know if that'll, end up being true, or that'll be like a story element. That's where the costume came from. It's sort of modified, army fatigues or something like that. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But I dig it. The bottom line, I kind of dig it. And it's not just the Doctor. It's also the TARDIS. The TARDIS is getting a slight makeover, and it's going old school, classic, a very much more classic-looking TARDIS. And the sort of pull door, where the phone is, the police public call box sign on the door, is now the dark blue again. And I love that. I absolutely love that. We haven't seen that in a long time. It's enough of a modification, calling back on the past of Doctor Who, that I dig it. Somebody who's a big-time classic Doctor Who fan. I love both new and old, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the callback to that. So, I'm just stoked. I'm that much more stoked. As I said in my casting reaction video, which I put up a week or two ago, maybe 3, I don't exactly remember how long ago it was, we still have Peter Capaldi's final outing as the 12th Doctor, and I'm still all kinds of stoked and anticipating that. It's a very bittersweet thing, because I don't want to see him, let go, moving on. But it is what it is. C'est la vie, such is life, and bring on the next generation, but not before Christmas, where we also got David Bradley reprising, or I should say playing for the first time, the legit first Doctor, whereas he has played William Hartnell and sort of Hartnell playing the first Doctor. And I can't wait, again, as a fan of the classic series, to call back on the 10th Planet and such like that, his final story, and to see him on an adventure with this, Peter Capaldi's last sort of incarnation for time, and then being introduced to Jodie Whittaker's 13th, and the adventures that will continue on. It's just a great time to be a Whovian, I think. At least that's my brass tacks opinion on it. I know there are a lot of people who, oh, it's a woman, damn it. all these chowderheads who have their complaints, and I'm not one of them. I don't see a problem with it. It's something that has been in the works for a very long time. They just never got around to doing it. And there's every rhyme and reason within the canon, within the universe of the show, that this makes sense. There's every rhyme and reason outside of it, because it's a casting thing they've been thinking about doing for a very long time. Even Sidney Newman had said, back in the 80s, this was something that would rejuvenate the show. And so time will tell. It's Doctor Who, only time will tell. Will people love it in the majority? Will people hate it in the majority? And cry me a river if you hate it. I don't care. I'm excited to see what Jodie's going to bring to the role, and what her surrounding cast are going to bring to their respective roles, and what adventures through time and space are going to ensue with this new band of TARDIS travelers when the time comes. And so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you think of this costume. Love it or hate it. Rein it back, dial it back if you have nothing but abject hate to spew, because I really don't want to engage you if you do. But as long as you're a little tepid and you're a little reined in, I don't mind hearing your opinions, even if we happen to, conflict on that. And for those who love it, just let your love be unabashed, that kind of thing. Whovians unite. I mean, we got a new era of Doctor Who just around the next corner, just over the next horizon, and we got to give Peter Capaldi one last hurrah before we get there, that kind of thing. And I'm just ready to boogie with it all. I dig it. I always dig it, no matter what it is. Doctor Who, anything Doctor Who, I really never have that much to complain about. It's just a rollicking good time, and so is the discussion. So let me know, as I say, in the comments what you think of the new costume for the 13th Doctor, the new motif for the TARDIS, the new cast of actors that are going to be the surrounding companions and such like that, all of that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.